Well, it's day 3 here of the US Junior Open.
Seconds.
It's a Monday morning, 8 a.m. First match of the day is happening here on the center court. It's the girls under 11 quarterfinal. Here we have the American Grace Lodge in the purple to serve, playing against Maya Mandour from Egypt to receive.
Grace Lodge to serve, Maya Mandour to receive. Best of 5 games, level.
Well, it should be a fantastic matchup here between these two players. Grace Lodge, currently the #1 ranked player in the US in girls under 11. She just ended 4th at the Canadian Open just a week ago, where most players use the Canadian Open as a warm-up for this US Junior Open, a very prestigious tournament here in the United States, and really in the world, with 900 players, over 41 nations represented here this weekend. And Maya Mandour, the Egyptian, this is her first US Open, but I'm not going to be surprised if she's able to handle this like a pro. We know the level of squash that's being played in Egypt. These players are being exposed to the highest level of players and level of the game, and from the youngest age. She's only 10 years old, 9 years old, with Grace 10 years old. So it's going to be great to see who can handle this glass court. Not one of these players have played on this glass court just yet, so the pressure really is on. But so far handling it as if they were born to play on glass. Well, that's great volley from Lodge. Just opens the court up really nicely for herself, looking to take the ball early. Well, good serves yesterday. Saw a few of the higher end players from the boys under 19, under 17 struggling a little bit with timing the ball off that side wall. Not really used to playing on a glass court, but Grace really pushing her serves into the side wall, making it difficult for Mandour to receive.
5-2.
Ball just landing a little bit too loose there. Mandour probably not quite the shot that she wanted to play. Oh, that's a great cross court. Great use of height, just missing the margins there.
6-2.
Well, that's what we like to see from these players. Physically, both of them might not look like they can generate a lot of power, but when they're hitting the ball with that much force, you know, it's often height equals length. So if you don't necessarily have the power, you need to hit a little bit higher on the front wall in order to get that ball to the back. But both these players have incredible force on the ball. Well, Lodge taking a pretty significant lead here in the first, 7-2. Seems to be looking more comfortable than her opponent, Mandour.
8-2. 8-2.
Just going for too much on that cross-court drop. Really trying, instead of trying to win the point, you're trying to move your opponent into the four corners of the court.
And out. 3-8.
Well, that's great setup from good length, driving Lodge into the back of the court and then moving up to follow up the short ball.
Down.
Well, we can see
4-8.
the skills of Mandour. She's in the middle of the court. She's able to dominate, so Lodge is not going to want to let go of this lead just yet. Keep her behind her as much as she can. Both players nicely working the ball into the back of the court. It's an excellent little cross-court kill there from the young Egyptian. Both players just struggling a little bit to get the ball into the back of the court. Ball landing short, so the player that's in the front of the tee is the one dominating at the moment. Well, those drives that we saw from Grace earlier, just not quite putting Mandour under pressure. She has too much time on the ball, and the ability to go short seems... And now she's finding the height on the front wall, so she's going to be a dangerous player up front.
And out. 9-7. Down. And out. 8-9.
Looking for the easy way out. Playing that little boast. Just needs to put the ball in straight into the back of the court. Sometimes the ball in the middle actually can be
10-8.
deceptive. You're
Game
not
ball.
expecting it to land right by your feet. So Grace Lodge here with game ball.
Down. And out. 9-10.
An unforced error just keeps Mandour in this first game. 9-10. What a way she's come back from being, I think, 8-4 down in this first. Well, we've seen Mandour take charge
10-all.
far too
Player to win by
often in the
2
middle of the
points.
court there, moving her feet really nicely, giving herself the space she needs. It's a tricky shot to play when the ball's coming right at you, and well, there we see the skills
11-10.
coming through.
Game ball.
Lodge just struggling to get the ball into the back of the court. Well, from being 8-5 down, now Mandour's got game ball here. Well, again, we've seen
12-10.
that happen
Game to Mandour.
far too many
Mandour
times.
leads 1 game to love.
Really has nice shots into the front of the court. Opens up the ball really nicely from the back of the court. So Lodge, even though it was up 8-5 in this first, had game ball. Well, Mandour has come back and won that 12-10. It seemed pretty clinical from Lodge, getting the ball into the back of the court. She seemed really comfortable on this glass court. Then a few unforced errors, a few drives, not quite making it behind the service line, and Mandour taking charge of the middle of the court, putting the ball in nicely into those front corners. It was also the difference between being up and down. She finally found the height on that front wall. But it all comes down to hitting the ball into the back of the court first, opening it up for yourself, and then looking to go short. Well, Mandour has done that very nicely in that second half of the game. I think if Lodge is looking to come back here in the second, which we know she can, she just needs to get the ball a little bit deeper, take away that beautiful drop from Mandour, and give herself a better chance of coming back in the second.
$15 seconds. No, it's we I know. I said yeah. We're here. Mandour leads 1 game to love.
Both players have had a fairly
all.
comfortable ride into this quarterfinal, with both of them winning the previous 2 matches 3-love. So this might be the first time that they're really tested. Well, that's great angles from the American. Beautiful drive into the backhand corner, really exploiting and using those back corners to her advantage. It's just how long is she able to keep that going? We saw her in the beginning of the game hit really nice straight and cross-court drives, but then as soon as she's being placed under pressure, she doesn't quite know what to do with the ball just yet. So another off to a racing start. Lodge again here in the second game. I'd like to see Mandour start a little bit better. Well, that's good use of height, good cross-court.
Down.
Again, just going short a little bit too soon. So
3-love.
she's made a couple of errors in the beginning of the game, just trying to go short a little bit too soon. Drive the ball into the back of the court a few more times before going short. And then the pressure of hitting it perfectly isn't so high anymore. Pressure being placed on her that she knows that she needs to play great shots into the back of the court, or else every time the ball lands in the middle, she's going to be punished for it. Well, that's better drives. Gotta follow that up. Gotta follow that up when you know that you've hit somewhat of a shorter drive. You have to follow it up into the front of the court. Again, ball landing into the middle of the court, and it's put away. It's like a pattern here. Ball goes short every time the ball's in the middle of the court.
3-5. Four or 5.
Lodge just trying to settle herself, letting go of that 5-love lead. Again, ball not landing deep enough.
Yeah, no let.
Referee awarding
And,
a no let.
6-4.
Those are some nice cross courts from these U-11 girls. We saw a few of the players yesterday struggling to get the ball wide enough. Well, here
And
these
out
girls
5-6.
are managing to put that ball into the back of the court. It's incredible. We have to remember that these are 9, 10-year-old squash players who have the mentality and the skills of someone way beyond their years.
Not up. Not
And
up.
it all comes with experience, right? It all comes with having played at this level now.
7-5.
Grace Lodge, as the number 1 player in the U11 in the US, has been exposed to a number of these situations. And then Maya Mandour from Egypt, she's exposed to this almost on a daily basis with some of the best players in the world, or the best players in the world, coming from Egypt. Then ball just landing too short. There we go, resettling herself, putting the ball into the back of the court. Nice patterns from the young American. Oh, that's a great shot. Oh, that's an excellent shot. A bit of a risky shot to play from the back foot, but executes it perfectly.
Little quicker, Miss Mandour.
Well, that was the difference there, right? Lodge working Mandour into the back.
Yep.
Ball's not landing too short. Referee just telling Mandour that she needs to keep the play continuous. Too soon. It's a poor serve. So when the ball doesn't off the serve doesn't hit the side wall, you really expose yourself to your opponent, punishing that return of serve. And so then when you're going for the difficult shot of the volley drop,
and out 9-6,
putting yourself under a lot of pressure.
(10-6) left box, game ball.
10-6 here, game ball for Lodge. She had game ball in the first, so let's see if she's able to do it first time. And she is. Well, there we go. 11-6 for the young American, tying up the game now 1-all. We saw in that first game that Lodge was struggling to get the ball into the back of the court. Ball's just landing far too short, and Mandour doing what she does best, putting that ball in early. Well, here we saw a little bit of a change of events. Lodge racing out in the start of that game. Middle of the game, a little bit is short, opening up the court for herself too much. But then she managed to find some really nice cross courts into the back of the court, straight drives, which really punished Mandour. A few good drops from Lodge. Plays the ball just inches above that tin. Oh, and that's a great shot there from Lodge. Well, it's now tied 1-all, girls under 11 quarterfinals here, and what an incredible level of squash that we're seeing being played by these two players.
Seconds. Time. One game all. Lodge to serve. Love all.
Well, both players receiving coaching from their coaches that are here today. Grace Lodge being coached by Reinald Hergrith, former South African and Trinity squash player, one of my teammates,
one love.
My countryman here at the US Open. So he's being given advice to Lodge. I'm sure it's exactly what we've been saying all along. It's get the ball into the back of the court. Don't expose that middle, because you know that Mandour has incredible touch, incredible hands, and will hurt you in the front of the court. Well, that's a great shot from Mandour. Oftentimes we've seen her go short when she's in that position. But here she drives the ball nicely into the back of the court, right? Bringing Lodge over onto one side and then punishing her onto the other side. She's really working the points very nicely. Well, a little mishit, but she manages to get there. Change of events here. Now we see Mandour racing ahead. 3-love. I think we're going to be in for quite a battle here between these two players.
4-love.
Well, this is the most games they've been tested so far here in the US Junior Open. Well, that's good length from Lodge. She's just going to want to really exploit the back of the court there. Good use of height.
Hand out. 5-1.
Oh, that's great length from the young Egyptian. Well, 5-1 here. Often finds herself 5-1 down instead of 5-1 up, so...
Not up.
There again, we see just working the ball nicely into the front of the court. Lodge knows that anything that lands in the middle of the court is going to be punished without fail. So she's got to keep the ball in the back if she's going to want to come back here in this third.
7-1.
Oh, that's just clinical squash there from the young Egyptian. Oh, the wrong shot at the wrong time. Just needs to work Mandour into the back of the court.
Not up.
Well, Mandour makes quick work of this first game.
Mandour leads
wins that 11-3. Really takes charge of the first half of that third game. A few unforced errors from Lodge, not quite the accuracy that we saw in those first two games. And then we know just how deadly Mandour is at the front of the court. Looking a little bit for help there. Grace Lodge knowing that she needs to put that ball into the back, but the accuracy and skills of Mandour coming through whenever she's in the middle of the court. I think if Lodge can minimize the amount of errors that we've seen her make in this third game and really take charge of the first half. This was the first time that she was down 5-1 instead of being up 5-1. So her coaches are going to want to talk to her a little bit about coming out firing in that first half of the game, because that really gives her the mental edge that she needs to take control.
Mandour leads 2-1. Mandour to serve. Love all. The handout,
the
1
young
love.
Egyptian now finds herself 2-1 up here in this quarterfinal match against the American Grace Lodge. You know, we'd like to see a little bit more variation from Lodge. Has a really nice drive, but when she has the opportunity to go short, we want her to put it in. So if she can take control of the middle of the court, then I think we might have a 5-setter on our hands here. But Mandour, we know every time she's in front, she punishes that ball. So she's pretty lethal when she's out in front. Well, now she seems like she's lethal when she's in the back of the court. So just really finding her stride here on this glass. Slow starts in the first two games, then manages to come out firing in that third. And we might see that happen again here. Working those angles really nicely. Again, nice short shot into the front. Works Grace all the way into the front of the court. Puts the ball in cross court. Forces her to take one extra step and then puts it in short. That really is strategy right there.
Yeah, wouldn't have reached that. No let. Left box 4-1.
Well, that's going to be a no let awarded there. Just ran straight through Mandour and then stopped. So she was past the point of interference.
Down.
Well, I thought she had an opportunity there where she just missed it.
5-1.
To put the ball in straight. Short little drop shot. Good length from Lodge.
And out 2-5.
First time we've really seen Mandour being tested in that backhand corner. Oh, that's much better length. Well, Mandour is often the first one to go short. So really nice counter drop from Lodge. I think she got that from her coaches, that when she's in front, when she has that opportunity, put the ball in short.
4-5.
Well, the lead that was once there is being taken away now. It's good cross-court length.
Handout 6-4.
Lodge could see it coming, just moving herself over a little bit to anticipate that shot, but quality of shot just too good. Well, can't afford to do that when you're in this fourth game. 4-7. 7-4 now for the young Egyptian. Again, just puts that ball in short, waiting for that opportunity. These players are so skilled, so talented. They're only 9 and 10 years old. It's incredible.
And out 5-8.
Great athleticism being shown here. Just needing to take that ball a little bit earlier.
9-5. It's let 9-5. Right box.
Left ball being played there. I think there was some interference that we might have missed. Great get from Lodge.
And out 6-9.
Being a little bit more aggressive. She does need to be more aggressive when she's in the middle of the court. Right now she's playing pretty defensively. So just hanging back. And you know that you're playing against someone that is so good in the front of the court. Your tee position cannot be that far back.
Ball.
Have to move up a little bit, but Mandour here has match ball in this girls under 11 quarterfinal.
Out.
Well, and she's done it. She's taken out the number 1 seed, the number 1 ranked player in the U11 under United States. The young Egyptian Maya Mandour has won this quarterfinal match 3-1. This is her first US Open. And some really great squash being played by both players, working each other into the back of the court. I think really the difference here was just when Maya Mandour was in charge, she was lethal. When she was put in the middle of the court, almost 99% of the time she'd win it by putting the ball in really nicely into the front of the court. Now, will she be able to get away with that with someone that has a little bit of a higher tee position and puts her under pressure in the back? I don't know. But Lodge, what a fantastic young American player. Sort of her glimmers of excellence in those first 2 games, just moving, getting the ball really nicely into the back. But what we'd like to work on is being a little bit more aggressive and assertive when she is in the middle and has that opportunity to play the ball short. So some excellent squash here by these 2 players, 9 and 10 years old. They have a bright future ahead of them, and we're excited to see what's to come. Well, there's still lots of matches happening around the center, and next up we have a boys under 11 match, so stay tuned.